This time on Rad Rat Comics, we're talking about the heroic return of Snapper Carr. Welcome back to Rad Rat Comics, a channel where I read lots of terrible comic book stories and I share with you the best ones. And today, I've got a real treat for you. The return of Snapper Carr. If you haven't seen my story about Snapper Carr, it's right there. He's a 50s greaser kid who was fertilizing the yard, I guess, and accidentally coated himself in lime, which made him immune to a bad guy in the Justice League. Were able to use that knowledge to defeat the bad guy, Starro. And so ever since then, they inducted him into the Justice League, and he's been there all along. This is Justice League number 18. And that was the first ever Justice League story that had Snapper Carr in it. So after all this time, he's been there all the time. He's always in the background. He's always snapping his fingers. He's called Snapper because he snaps when he likes things. He's always in the background doing that. But this story actually features him prominently as one of the main heroes, and it's great. So let's jump into it. In Happy Harbor Park, where for some time Snapper Carr has been telling his girlfriend Midge about some recent Justice League cases. For the last 5 adventures, I've been glued to the pad, Midge. It's getting monotonous. Ever since the trouble with Dr. Light, I've been as active in JLA cases as a paperweight. I've just got to bend the trend. Oh my goodness, look at what time it is. Snapper, I've got to beat feet home. I'm blasting off too. I lost track of time and didn't realize I'm due at a regular Justice League meeting right now. Snapper Carr, you're not leaving me here. You're driving me home. Moments later, Snapper's hot rod is wheeling along a street in Happy Harbor. And please, no breaking speed limits. I'll never make the scene on time. What a nasty blast. After dropping Midge off at her home, the honorary member of the Justice League of America drives to a lonely country road, and this gadget the Justice League members installed on my hot rod gets me to headquarters Quicksville without burning tires. Man, like I'm primed for action. Maybe this time I won't be a stray cat where the JLA is concerned. I can't wait to get there and start cooking on the front burner. Out of breath and with an apology trembling on his lips, Snapper dashes into the secret sanctuary. The ticks got away from me and, hey, there's nobody home. They've gone on another case without me. Dejectedly, he slumps into his seat at the council table. Out in the cold again. Nothing to do now but pile up the Z's until they get back. Through his cloud of dismay, Snapper hears a faint voice calling his name. Huh? My flappers are switching channels on me. I'm hearing things. That sounds like Adam's voice. But where is he? Snapper, we need your help. Oh, it's only my imagination giving voice to my thoughts about my wanting to help the JLA out for a change. Snapper, you've got to help us. Like I'm in a bad way. The little men are talking to me. Just the same, I wish I knew what was happening to the Justice League right now. What is happening to the Justice League right now? Snapper was late. So where did the superstars go before he arrived? Let us turn back the hands of time to the meeting room some minutes before Snapper got there. A telephone is ringing. I just love the way he talks. It's so amazing. I don't know how accurate the slang is or anything like that, but just the way he's written, it's just great. And the idea that he feels like he has to apologize for being late, like nobody cares if he's there. He's a teenager with a pretty nice car. That's it. He doesn't have any powers. He doesn't have any abilities. He only helps out on accident sometimes. But what has happened, I'm going to gloss over some of the details for the sake of time. All the Justice League was shrunk down really, really small to the subatomic world. Downward into the micro worlds which are found in all matter fall the mighty champions of justice, diminishing at an ever faster pace, tumbling headlong into the great abyss between our own and those sub-universes. They are soon too tiny to be seen even by the most powerful electronic microscope. I can see them. I'm catching up to them. So the Atom had to use his suit to shrink down. He didn't automatically shrink like the rest of them. Look, it's the Atom. He's followed us. Then the terrible forces and stresses to be found between worlds are gone. The Justice League members find themselves on a mighty metal platform. We stop shrinking. Yes, but where are we? You are in the micro world of Starzl. Who are you? We are the 3 protectors of this world. We brought you here so you could destroy us. Okay, so I had the same problem in the Ant-Man. Just the idea that like there's a super small world that's like a different location. It's not like a really small place. It's like a different place. So if you were to shrink down to be this big, the world is gigantic, right? So like if I was on this side of the house and you were on that side of the house and we were the size of one atom, it would take a lifetime to go that far, right? But that's not how it works in comics. In comics, if you get small enough, you're just on a different planet, but everything's the same size as it is here. It doesn't make sense, because if Superman was in this chair and he shrunk down, and Batman was in this chair on the other side of the room, they both shrunk down. There's no reason they would have been anywhere near each other on the subatomic plane, you know? They'd be like 1,000 miles apart to scale, right? But I don't know. It's just like, it's a different world that's really small, but it's also a different dimension. Don't worry about it. They basically went to a different planet. I am Terrain, protector of the ground. My name is Okana, lord of the sea. As Terrain defends against attack on land, I fight off attacks on Starzl that come by sea. Well, I am Atheron, protector of the starways. Any who attack this world from space must deal with me. Let's gloss through this part a little bit too. This tiny society, they built these invulnerable androids using a power source called Ultrazone, and they realized that having this stuff nearby was shortening their lifespan. And so the people wanted to destroy their own protectors because it was making them all sick, but unfortunately they made them so well that they're invulnerable, and so they shrunk down the Justice League to actually find a way to defeat the androids. You must fight us, destroy us, so that the race of Starzl does not become extinct. We are invulnerable, but you heroes must try to find a way to defeat us. Suppose Adam and Green Arrow and I tackle Terrain, Green Lantern and Wonder Woman can go into space, they and I will fight Atheron. I have had underwater adventures, so has the Martian Manhunter. We'll help Aquaman battle the Protector of the Sea. Hopeful Starzl faces watch Batman, Adam, and Green Arrow race out of the city to the Great Plain where Terrain stands watching. You must attack me first. I cannot go into action unless I am attacked, and that won't be necessary, since I'm hopeful you will defeat me immediately. Racing forward, powerful Batman puts his trust in his great muscles and quick wits. I'll grab him around the body with a wrestling hold, slam him to the ground so hard I'll smash him. As Batman attacks, the android warrior presses a stud, and you understand I don't want to fight back, don't you, Batman? But I have to, because of the defense mechanism inside me. The great shield thuds with bone-jarring force against the Gotham Goliath. My timing was off. Ugh! High in the air, the tiny titan leaps from the big leaf on which he has been wind skiing. Batman failed, but I'll still make myself so small the Protector won't see me, and hit him a knockout blow. As he hurtles downward, you realize I wouldn't harm you for the world, don't you, Adam? But I must fight back when attacked, so I didn't make myself small enough. He could still see me. Meanwhile, the ace archer draws a lightning arrow and aims it at his opponent. The electric charge generated by the small but powerful battery in the arrow will short-circuit his sword, drive it from his hand. But the Protector raises his sword, and from it shoots a beam of repelling energy. I hate myself for doing this, but I'm unable to stop it. Repelled by the sword ray, the lightning arrow whips backward and slams hard into Green Arrow. My accuracy was off just enough to make me pay the penalty for my own carelessness. Too bad. I was hoping one of you could stop me. The next part has Aquaman in it, so it kind of sucks. But essentially, they are also defeated underwater by the Guardian of the Water. And also in space, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Green Lantern are defeated, and they all end up in a prison. In the next instant, a mighty cage forms itself about the trio of superheroes. Even you cannot force these mighty bars, Superman. You and the others are my prisoners. Nothing can withstand my super muscles. An expression of sheer disbelief crosses the Man of Steel's face as his hands tighten on the cage bars. Huh? He's right. I can't pull them apart. Even as he struggles in vain, here, Superman, let me get at those bars. I'll free you. Martian Manhunter, while I respect you tremendously, if I can't budge these bars, neither can you. The next offer is the Amazon Princess. Martian Manhunter's strength has failed him. Let me try. If our male super muscles won't work, your female muscles can't bend these bars either. Wow. I mean, they all have super strength. Their muscles have very little to do with their power, right? So, like, female muscles aren't as powerful. When you're talking about superheroes, like, she's stronger than at least all of the other guys there, right? But she has female muscles, so they're going to be a little bit too frail for these steel bars. One after another, the great champions try. You have no super strength, Green Arrow. You certainly can't do it. Flash, your super speed is useless against these bars. Your power ring will never work, Green Lantern. Suddenly, Batman steps forward, hands up raised. Hold everything. Don't any of you say a word, not a single word, about my not being able to bend these bars. His hands close on the bars. I want a chance at these bars while you remain silent. Keep silent at all costs. What can Batman have in mind? What have his quick wits noticed? Batman's powerful muscles did what Superman's in mind couldn't. But how? You've discovered something, Batman. What is it? Why didn't you want us to say anything? Does talking weaken us in some manner? Or cause us to lose our superpowers? Yes and no. I noticed that just before each one of you tried to bend those bars, someone told you that you could not do it. I thought, can it be possible on this strange world that what someone is told is believed to be true? And so they postulate that the protectors all mentioned how invulnerable they were, which makes it so that they cannot be beaten. I have a hunch that once the protectors told us they were invulnerable, the suggestion in our minds cannot be altered. Suppose I test that theory, Batman, right now. You're right, I still can't budge these bars. Then there's no way for anyone in this world to beat the protectors. Not on this world. But there's someone on Earth who can do it. Someone who hasn't been told the protectors are invulnerable. Snapper Carr. And so, moments later, the tiny Titan is shouting up at the gigantic form of Snapper Carr. Snapper, you can help us. I'm coming from a sub-microscopic world, growing larger right under your eyes. It's the Atom's voice, all right, but where is he? Then, it occurred to us that you might like to share our latest adventure, Snapper. You haven't taken an active part in the last few cases. You're not just pulverizing me, Atom. This is the real deal? Then the shrink ray begins to take effect. It's the real deal. You see, there are 3 protectors on this micro-world we must destroy to save the people who created them. You are going to do it for us. Wowee! I can feel myself shrinking. Are you sure I can handle these protectors? We're going with you, Snapper, in teams of 3 Justice League members each, so you won't be alone in your fight. Then I'll be on Cloud 9, where nothing can bug me. As the tiny Titan and Snapper arrive in the laboratory on Starzl, I'm with you, gang. Atom gave me the flash, and my wheels are on fire to get going. I'll willpower Snapper not to hear the telepathic communications of the protectors, so they can't tell him they're invulnerable. Okay, quick strategy question. I didn't read this part, but they went back to the lab and used the shrink ray that they used to get Superman and Batman and all of them. They shot Snapper with that. Why don't they make him like double the size that he should be? You know? Like, don't shrink him all the way. Make him like a giant. Why not? He would be a lot stronger. So, like, it seems like a pretty good strategy. He's just a dude. But no, they just bring a teenager into a microscopic world to fight a warrior with a sword and a shield with only the suggestion that he's good enough to defeat him. How's that going to work out? So you found another member, did you? Well, he'll find out, just as you did, that we're invulnerable. Snapper can hear the protector. He's still chock full of confidence. Terrain loosens the straps of his great shield and activates its jets so that my shield will hit you so hard it will knock you out as it did Batman. So this bad daddy won't talk, eh? Slightly behind Snapper Carr stands Green Arrow, firing shaft after shaft at the mighty shield. My arrows will slow down the shield, give Snapper a chance to grab it and throw it aside. As the ace archer has predicted, Snapper grasps the shield, and if that's the best you can do, I'll get this over with in a hurry. We can't overcome the protectors because of the mental block placed on us, but we can protect Snapper. Terrain lifts his deadly ray sword, and you cannot escape the disintegration beam. It will destroy you completely. This is my cue to help Snapper. The sword blade drops toward the ground as the Atom lands on it. Unnoticed by Terrain, I landed with my full weight on his sword, just in time to ground it. Almost at the same instant, Batman throws himself against Snapper. I'll add my weight to that of Snapper, doubling the impact of his fist when it connects. This is Endsville for you, fella! As Terrain lies on the ground, Snapper removes his helmet with its deadly Ultrazone and places it in a lead box. Good work, Snapper. Once the helmet has been lifted off, the protector is helpless. The lead will prevent the Ultrazone radiations from ever harming anyone again. Okay, so they brought a teenager from the normal world, the big world, whatever, from Earth, to punch an android once in the face, and he defeats him. The next one is in the water, right? So he's got Aquaman and other characters who can survive in the water. What is Snapper going to do? Just hold your breath underwater for a minute, Snapper. That's all the time it will take for you to handle the next protector. It'll be a snap, Martian Manhunter. Let's do the wet and bubbly. Even though I feel Okana is invulnerable, I can still carry Snapper toward him at top speed. Snapper lands both fists with explosive force. I'll take this helmet and put it in a lead container. Okay, so Snapper lands a double punch, which is a great move if you want 2 half-strength punches instead of 1 good one. But it's fine, it worked out. It knocked out the android and they pull off his helmet. It's time for Snapper to go to space. For his third mission, Snapper is taken out into space by Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern in a spacesuit hurriedly fashioned by the Man of Steel. Odd, I don't see Etherin anywhere. Neither do I. But further out in space, Etherin is waiting, unseen. I saw how my fellow protectors met defeat at the hands of this clever young member of the Justice League. To prevent his beating me, I've made myself invisible. Suddenly a verdant beam fans out from the Emerald Gladiator's power ring. I thought so. Etherin turned himself invisible. I've made him a glowing target now. The following instant, Wonder Woman sends her lasso snaking about Snapper Carr, and I'll swing Snapper through space right at the Protector. Hurtling ahead of young Snapper is the Man of Steel, absorbing the awesome bolts of power thrown at Snapper by the Protector. Since only magic or kryptonite can overcome me, I make the perfect blocking back for Snapper. At the last moment, Superman darts to one side just as, right on target, Snapper. A moment afterward, the Emerald Gladiator snatches the space helmet and sends it flying sunward. The heat of the sun will utterly destroy the Ultra Zone. Now the people of Starzol are safe. Okay, so they're very small. They're still on the table in the Justice League conference room, but they're submicroscopic. And there's a sun there. There's outer space and the sun. Like, this is what I'm talking about. They got so small that it's just a different place. It doesn't make sense. Snapper defeats this one by punching him again. Although he doesn't really punch him, he is used as a weapon and flung at him like a sling, you know? But it works, and now there's only one thing left to do. Returning to Starzol, the Justice League members are once again reunited as I'll will the radiation, or the element in the air which causes people in this world to be brainwashed, to dissipate and vanish. After that, there's only one thing more to do. What's that, Superman? We did everything we were supposed to do here. The Protectors are beaten, their helmets made harmless, and there isn't anything else. Oh, yes, there is. As Snapper might say, it bugged me that I couldn't budge these bars. Ah, now that Green Lantern eliminated that radiation, I can bend them with ease. They were no more bend-proof than the Protectors were invulnerable. Superman's got a bit of an ego on him, doesn't he? First, he was saying that a woman's muscles could never compare to his, and if he can't bend it, then nobody can. And now that the brainwashing rays are gone, he needed to prove that he can bend bars just to show you guys that he's still the strongest. Superman's kind of a jerk in the older comics, but I really like it. It's better than him being the perfect good guy all the time, you know? But let's wrap it up. Then the members gather on the metal platform of the shrink ray machinery. We are indeed grateful to you. Permit us, in our gratitude, to return you to your own world. Some days later, back in Happy Harbor Park. Well, Snapper, you certainly looked like the cat that swallowed some cream. How come? I've been laying tread with the Justice League, Midge. They gave me an action-packed job on their latest adventure. Oh, that's wonderful. Did you really help them? I sure did, in a small way. And so Snapper saved a planet, I guess, right? A tiny planet, but he saved a planet. And I don't know if they ever told him how or why they used him, but yeah, so Snapper had the confidence of a teenager to believe that he could defeat these ultra-powerful androids, and he does, and it's amazing. So yeah, that story had a lot of twists and turns that I really enjoyed. He just punches them all in the face. It's great. And I also am very amused at the end that all of the other Justice League members, their identities are secret, right? They know each other, but, you know, like Superman won't tell Lois Lane who he is or whatever. But Snapper is in the Justice League, and he just tells some girl at the park that he's a Justice League member, and she believes him. And it's true. Like, it's absurd. But that is the latest adventure of Snapper that I finally found one that I thought was worth sharing. So subscribe for more Snapper. Subscribe for more Justice League, more ridiculous stories from all different time periods of comics. I've been really enjoying doing these. So stick around for those, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.